Hello, good morning, and welcome to Unacademy IAS, a one stop destination for all the English medium civil services aspirants. This is Shyam Kaggod here, taking up the Hindu News analysis dated 8th December 2025. Now, before I start the session, please do let me know that I'm audible and visible for all of you. Those who are present, please give the confirmation. Thanks a lot. Let's start. So, in today's analysis, I've taken a total of 9 articles. All of them are from the daily edition of Hindu newspaper. The articles are from polity, economics, international relations, etc., in order to ensure that the discussion will be comprehensive and it will help you answer the questions in the prelims as well as mains examination. If you're liking the discussion, do not forget to hit the like button. If you're yet to join our YouTube channel, kindly do it right now. Now, before I start the session, I have a very important announcement to make. On the 10th of December, we have planned something very exciting for all of you. Irrespective of whether you are a civil services aspirant or not, you must not miss this particular event. All you need to do is go to the description section of the video. There will be a link provided for another video. Click on that video link. You'll be taken to another video. Hit on the button, notify me. 7 p.m., 10th December. Do not miss out. Now, let's start the discussion. First article, surveillance apps in welfare snake oil for accountability. Don't go by the title of the article. A lot of you will be confused looking at the title. Let's understand what are the important points in the article. Now, listen to me very carefully. Whenever there is a discussion associated with how effectively the policies or the measures of the government of India are being implemented, one of the very important stakeholders will be the government officials. Government officials. That is, at the grassroots level, how are the government officials or the people representing the government of India's policy are behaving? It could be the engineers, it could be the contractors, it could be the people who are sweeping the road, etc. How are they doing the work? The accountability is generally held at that particular point. Now, in the context of the government of India's policies over a period of time, we have seen that government officials remain absent for multiple days, do not report to the office on time, will come very late but will exit very, very soon. They'll say lunch hour and the lunch hour will extend for 2 to 3 hours. So there is always been a concern associated with whether the government officials or the people who are doing the government's work are they present in the right position or in the right time, in the right office, at the right place or not. One way to improve the accountability, one way to ensure that they'll be there at their position at the right time is to ensure the attendance, is to have attendance system. Unlike earlier system where attendance in the government offices or the government officials used to write or make an entry in the register, get in, and while getting out would make an entry, right, while exiting the office. That also has a lot of problem. So what has the government of India done? Government of India in multiple places under multiple schemes, even the state governments as well, have introduced the concept of the apps, introduced the technology. Simple terms, introduce technology. Through the technology, now we will be able to ensure that the people who are providing the services, who are implementing the scheme, who are supposed to take the attendance, who are supposed to work, all of them are working according to the timings decided by the government. For example, if there is an entry that has to be done, that is, you are supposed to log in into the office at 9 o'clock, there will be, right, let's say a biometric sensor. You'll have to provide your biometrics that will take your attendance. And while checking out, you'll also have to again provide your biometric, right, let's say authentication. Now, what is the problem? On one side, this concept of usage of technology will improve. No way, no doubt, it will increase the attendance. It will ensure you are present in the office at the right time. If you're not present in the office, the government will simply say, we will cut your salary, we will withhold half day salary, we will mark you absent for half a day, etc. But the writer in the article simply says the usage of technology, the usage of technology in this particular way will only ensure the workers are present. That's it. It will ensure that the workers are present. You cannot ensure there is productivity. There is right amount of productivity that you are able to get from the workers. For example, if the government has a order stating that by 9:30 you will have to be present in the office, I'll go provide my thumbprint, I will mark my attendance. It will only ensure that I'm there in the office. It doesn't ensure the fact that my productivity might be hampered. It doesn't guarantee that my productivity will be higher. In fact, I'll give you certain examples of the schemes which have been mentioned in the article here. Listen to this very carefully. Because over a period of time, I'm pretty sure you also have seen the government relying more and more on technology. The government relying more and more on different apps to ensure attendance, in order to ensure welfare schemes are provided, etc. Let me give you certain examples. Take an example of a rural office in the rural part of India. First and foremost, the internet connectivity in this particular office will be weaker. In addition to this, if all the people in the office start to use the internet at the same point of time, how much can be the productivity done by certain number of labor? That would be affected, because all of us are using the internet at the same point of time. The speed, or with what speed I can upload the document, download the document, yes, it will have certain impact on it. In certain states, it was seen that the government officials would stay back after the office hours. They would start using the internet only after the office hours. Why? After the office hours, most of the officers have left. The usage of internet is very less, and now the speed with which they can upload the documents, download the documents, digitize the document would be much faster. But with the government of India's policy stating that you'll have to log in, you'll have to provide your attendance by 9:30 or 10 o'clock now, these officers are not going to stay back after, let's say the working hours are over. Unlike earlier situation, now this kind of a attendance mandate will hurt the productivity in this particular office. One example. I'll give you one more example. Manrega, MGNREGS, attendance under Manrega. Under Manrega, the government of India now has mandated that there will be an app, right? Please make a note of this. Earlier also we have discussed the concept of usage of app under Manrega. There will be an app. And using this particular app, attendance of the worker has to be shown. That is, photos will have to be taken twice a day. Photos will have to be taken of the workers doing the work. But very recently, the Ministry of Rural Development itself has stated that there is abuse of this particular system as well. In many cases, the system simply needs a photo. System simply needs a JPEG file. And when the system needs a JPEG file, the person who is supposed to register my attendance, if he is my friend, she is my friend, in that particular case, they'll simply upload any kind of a photo, or they'll upload photo of a photo. So there have been certain issues even with this kind of a, let's say app-based or technology-based attendance system that has been used. I'll give you one more example. Third one. In case of the pregnant and lactating women, the healthcare workers are supposed to provide take home kits or take home ration, THR. Now the problem is, what is the way to ensure that the take home ration will be delivered only to the pregnant woman? What is the way to ensure that? So government now has mandated that when you're delivering this particular take home ration to the pregnant and lactating woman, you'll have to take the smartphone, keep your camera on, and you'll have to basically have the facial recognition of the beneficiary. Facial recognition of the beneficiary has to be done. And in that particular time period, when you're conducting the facial recognition, the beneficiary has to blink so that the system will identify, take the photo of this beneficiary, compare it with the photo that is there in the system, and that will authenticate that this is the right beneficiary. Now the problem is, what if this is being done in the rural part of India, and the internet connectivity is very, very weak. It has been seen multiple times the beneficiaries are present, the person who is providing the service is present, internet connectivity is weaker. And associated with internet connectivity, there is one more problem. There are certain types of service providers, that is, have a look at this, the auxiliary nurses midwives. Auxiliary nurses midwives. Now they are supposed to go to these particular houses where the beneficiaries are present, and there is supposed to be a geotagging also to be done. Geotagging in the sense, in the system, the beneficiary's address is there, geotagging is done. Now, if I am one of the service providers who has to authenticate once I'm providing the services, I will have to be there on the same geological location. I'll have to be present in the same geological location, and that geotagging has to be done. In certain instances, what has happened is the service provider, the government representative, when she is present in the home, internet connectivity is not there. So what she has done? She has gone outside in search of internet connectivity, like most of us do many of the times. We'll keep on searching for the bar, that is the telecom connectivity bar. She has gone outside searching for the connectivity. And that connectivity has come to her mobile phone or the cell phone at 300 meters distance from the home. 300 meters distance from the home. So imagine the plight of the worker here. She has gone 300 meters away. She has received the connectivity, and then she has registered. She has basically authenticated that the service has been provided. Now the backend system has seen two different geographical locations. One is the location of the beneficiary's home, and this is the location of the service provider or this social worker, which is 300 meters away. And this has basically said this is a fraud transaction. A show cause notice has been sent. Show cause notice has been sent to this social worker now. One more example of problem of usage of technology. I'm pretty sure all of you heard of National Food Security Act, NFSA. National Food Security Act. Under National Food Security Act, we have implemented a system where Aadhaar authentication is being done now. Aadhaar authentication. That is, I'll go to the ration shop or the fair price shop. I'll provide my thumbprint. The system will recognize me as a beneficiary under NFSA. And now 5 kgs of free food grains will be provided, delivered to me. But what if here is a beneficiary who is bedridden? Think of this. A beneficiary is bedridden. Beneficiary has certain problems in terms of going to the ration shop now. Or the beneficiary faces certain issues, physically disabled person. In such instances, don't you think this concept of Aadhaar authentication will be hurting the access to the food grains for these kind of beneficiaries? So I hope you understand now. I've given you around 5 to 6 examples. I hope you understand 5 to 6 examples where the government has implemented technology in order to ensure beneficiary is identified, beneficiary is given the benefits, and the leakages will not happen. But at the same point of time, the usage of this kind of a technology is hurting one or the other stakeholders in the system. Now the question arises, why is that the government of India is doing it? There are two arguments here. Let's understand why is the government of India doing this. And second, if it will continue to do, what is the problem with that? The government of India simply says, over a period of time, multiple initiatives or the reforms have been implemented. But in multiple instances, we have seen that there is a leakage of the subsidies. There is leakage of subsidies. The amount of subsidy that is supposed to reach a beneficiary is either eaten by the middleman, or the beneficiary is a bogus beneficiary. There is no existing beneficiary of so and so, but the benefits are being consumed by somebody else, that is basically a government official, or it could be somebody else. In order to remove these kind of leakages, in order to ensure the right beneficiary is identified, government has implemented these kind of reforms. But at the same point of time, the writer raises a very pertinent question here. Despite seeing that there are problems with adoption of these kind of technologies, if the government continues to persist, if the government or the ministries continue to implement these kind of technologies in other schemes, The question is there a grip of, or is there basically a protection of the interest of the service providers, that is the commercial entities, where lot of money will be paid to these commercial entities for providing these kind of services. Meaning what? Let's say a person has been appointed as a government official. They are supposed to go to every household. Now, for conducting a survey, a smartphone will be issued to them by the government. But the government will issue this smartphone after purchasing from a company. Take an example of NFSA, National Food Security Act. I will go to the ration shop, I'll provide my thumbprint. But when I provide my thumbprint, there will be certain machinery that will be used, computer that will be used, or a smart device that will be used. All of these will be supplied by somebody else, that is a commercial entity in the market. So the writer simply raises the question here, despite knowing that there are certain problems of exclusion because of the adoption of technology in providing the welfare schemes by the government, if the government continues to implement them without addressing these particular issues, then it will raise the question over whose interest is the government protecting. Is it the interest of the beneficiaries, or is it the interest of the private commercial enterprises who will make huge amount of money by providing all of these particular services, products, etc. to the government, which will be used for the implementation of these welfare schemes. So these are certain important points discussed in the article. Is everybody okay with the discussion? Please do let me know. Before I go forward, please do let me know. Now, based on the discussion, here is the descriptive question for you to practice answer writing. Two questions I've given. Both of them you can easily write looking at what is there in the article. Examine the limitations of facial recognition and biometric attendance systems in improving public service delivery in India. Sorry, in improving public service delivery in India. Second, the use of technology in delivering social welfare can lead to accountability, but not responsibility. Elaborate. What is this difference between accountability and responsibility? Mr. Amartya Sen simply says, if you ensure that the people who are working are present on time, you're holding them accountable. You're ensuring that workers are there at Manrega site. You're ensuring government officials are there in the office. That's it. You're holding them accountable to be present. But if you want to ensure that the productivity will be better, you will have to shift to the concept of responsibility. What is this idea for responsibility? Responsibility, he says, is to ensure that the one who is providing the service to me will behave in the same way that I expect to get the benefit from. That is, imagine if I'm supposed to provide certain services to you, I'm the government official, I'm supposed to provide certain services. It's not just that I'm providing the services. I should give you the right information. I should give you the right knowledge. I should give you the right direction, etc. That is essentially the concept of responsibility here. I will put myself in your place as a beneficiary. I'll put myself in your place, and I want myself to treat you in the same way that I want me to be treated by others. That is basically the concept of responsibility. Go beyond accountability. This is basically the argument put forward by Mr. Jean Rees as well as Mr. Amartya Sen. Everybody is okay? And if you are wondering, sir, what should be the way forward in such cases? What should be the way forward? One, you'll have to improve digital literacy in India. Improve digital literacy, right? Have social audits. Rather than holding simply attendance system like this, rather than being over dependent on, right, let's say the technology for conducting attendance, ensuring the service will reach, have social audits, have third party independent audits who can tell you whether the schemes or the programs are being implemented in the right way or not. Done? Okay. So let me go forward. Next article. There is a lot of discussion happening associated with a bill that has been introduced or proposed by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Let's understand what are the important points. What are the concerns over the draft ISI? ISI here stands for Indian Statistical Institution. Indian Statistical institution, right? This is the full form of ISI. ISI, certain important points here. ISI was founded by Mr. P.C. Mahalanobis. It was founded by Mr. P.C. Mahalanobis back in the year 1931. Later, it was registered as a society. It was registered as a society. And back in the year 1959, the government of India introduced a bill and got a bill passed, ISI Act of 1959, and government accordingly identified the Indian Statistical Institute as a Institute of National Importance. I'll repeat this. It was recognized as Institute of National Importance. So far, around 160 plus institutes. It could be medical institutes such as the AIMS. It could be the IITs, IIMs, which have been recognized as institutions of national importance by the government. Now, what is happening right now? What is the issue? Why there is a lot of debate, discussion that has been happening? Historically, if you see, since it has been recognized as a society, the way this operates as a society, the powers that are given to the society, the autonomy that is there with this institute is much, much higher compared to whatever has been the proposal which has been put forward by the government of India. What is the important point of contention here? According to the draft bill which has been proposed by the MOSPI, the management structure of the ISI will change. The management structure of ISI will change. Listen to me very carefully. Like I said, right now, this functions as a society. And the laws, provisions which are applicable are basically derived from the West Bengal Societies Act. The proposal is that we should convert this from the society. We should convert this from the society to statutory body corporate. From society, we should convert this to statutory body corporate. And if you're wondering what will happen, if I make it as a statutory body corporate, what will change? Listen to me very carefully. I'm pretty sure all of you heard of Indian Institutes of Management, Indian Institutes of Technology, etc. Once this ISI will be converted as a statutory body corporate, it will be governed on the lines similar to the IIMs, IITs, etc. There will be a law, the draft itself, there will be a law which will be passed. It will become an act. Under the act, all the provisions will now be used under this or from this particular act regarding the management of ISI. The best example that many of the experts are basically stating to raise a concern is that right now the ISI has a governing council where 33 members are there. 33 members. Out of 33 members, there is a representation of the union government. 6 members are from the union government, and around 10 members are essentially representing the ISI, Indian Statistical Institute. But now, under the let's say the new proposal, that is a draft proposal, the provisions will basically change the structure. It will be the president. It will be the president who is going to have the powers regarding the appointment into any kind of, let's say, major major positions such as directors, etc. in the ISI, the power will be there with the president. And whatever council, the board of governors, it has proposed a board of governors, BOG. The board of governors has been proposed to manage the ISI. There will be absolutely no representation of the institute. There will be no representation from the institute. The powers regarding the appointment, removal, etc., all of them will be with the union government now. Is everybody okay with the discussion? All of them will be with the union government. And this, basically, the experts say, will have a huge impact on how the institute will perform, how the institute will work, how the institute would be managed if this particular proposal will be implemented. There could be appointments. Again, I'm saying concerns, right? Some of you might agree or disagree, right? Very much okay with that. So the experts basically raise a concern that there would be appointments of the people who will toe the line of government. There will be removal of the people who will not accept certain, or they will publish certain reports, or they will write something against the government. The the independence or the autonomy that is present right now, which is associated with the functioning of this particular institute, it will be under threat. And that is the precise reason why there is a lot of opposition to that. But now the question arises, why is the government trying to do this? Is there any logic behind introducing this kind of a draft bill? The government of India simply says multiple committees over a period of time have recommended that we need to improve the efficiency of ISI. We need to make it much more efficient. We need to improve the efficiency so that it will become one of the most recognized institutes in the global market. And as such, right now, if you look at the performance of ISI, contribution of ISI to the Indian economy, these are not trivial contributions. Let me give you a glimpse of how important ISI has been for Indian economy. ISI, Indian Statistical Institute, like I said earlier, has been founded by Mr. P.C. Mahalanobis. P.C. Mahalanobis is very much known for the second 5-year plan in India. Right, I'm pretty sure all of you heard of this. Heavy industrialization plan. Heavy industrialization plan. P.C. Mahalanobis is known for formulation of second 5-year plan. The ISI is also known for the coining of, or let's say the formation of, the National Statistical Office, NSO. It is also responsible for that particular, let's say organization that is part of Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, not NSO, NSSO. The ISI also has contributed in different ways regarding conducting surveys for poverty estimation. For poverty estimation, it has contributed for studies which are used to conduct crop surveys related to agriculture sector, etc. So ISI as an organization has been contributing to policy making of Indian economy. Now the concern is, by introducing such a law, are we taking away the autonomy? Are we simply making it as one more institute that will be under the complete control of the union government? So these are certain important points associated with the draft ISI Bill 2025. Very recently, there were protests held in the city of Kolkata because it is headquartered in Kolkata. Please remember, ISI is headquartered in Kolkata. That's the reason the protests have been held in the city of Kolkata very recently. Everybody is okay with the discussion? Please do let me know. Now, please take up this particular MCQ, solve the MCQ and tell me what is the answer very quickly. It should not be very difficult now. What is the answer? Tell me very quickly. Some of you are making mistake there also. Vikash Raj. My dear Vikash Raj, please check. Please check what is the answer. Okay. Consider the following statements regarding Indian Statistical Institute. It has been declared as an institute of national importance. Yes. Second, it was founded in 1931 by Mr. P.C. Mahalanobis. Yes. First statement, second statement, both are correct by the way. Right option for the question will be option C, both. Okay. Now, let's go to the next article. US security strategy changes are consistent with our vision. Right, a very unlikely statement, very very much unlikely, where Russia and USA both are on the same page. The representative of Russian government simply says whatever is the change in the US strategy policy announced very recently on 4th of December, the president of USA announced a new policy, US security strategy. I'll tell you important points. And now the Russian government has basically attested to the fact that whatever policy changes have been announced by USA, we are okay with them. We are on the same page with the USA government. Now listen to me very carefully. What is this idea for US security strategy or national security strategy? Whenever there are presidents, in case of US administration, whenever there's a president, whenever there's a change in the president, every president will have their own policy, their own approach towards national security. Some of the presidents might be in favor of promoting global peace. Some of the presidents might be worried more about national security rather than being a policeman to the, let's say, the whole of the world, etc. The current administration has announced a new national security strategy. I'll start using the short form now, NSS, New National Security Strategy. Now, should you remember all the points under the new national security strategy? Absolutely no. The total length of the document, if you remove the, right, let's say the title pages, etc., 29 pages are there. You will not be able to read all the 29 and you don't have to remember all the 29 pages. I'll summarize all the measures that have been announced in 29 pages into simple, you can remember 5 points. One, now the US administration wants to focus on Western Hemisphere rather than being present in across the globe, across the countries, across all the countries, being spread through too thin. They are more focused on having dominance in the Western Hemisphere. And that is the reason you will see the kind of strategy that the USA adopted towards Venezuela suddenly has changed now. Suddenly has changed. They want to have dominance in the Western Hemisphere. That is the first very important outcome or the announcement in the strategy. Second one, the focus will be on national interest. And this is nothing new. Mr. Donald Trump has been talking about the same point, America first. America first. In fact, that was the punchline. That was basically the clarion call in the presidential elections as well. He kept on stating focus will be on America first. America will focus on domestic policies, will focus on the migration into America, will cut down the people coming into America so that the people in America can have better security, better safety, better job opportunities, etc. So second, focus on national interest, forget about playing global police. Third one, economic nationalism. Absolutely nothing new, characteristic of Mr. Donald Trump. Economic nationalism, that is, companies in America should be producing, should be investing, should be creating jobs in America only. If they are trying to invest somewhere else, threaten them. Right? Threaten them with the tariff, threaten them with, right, certain types of sanctions, etc. So production should be done in America. America should be the global manufacturing facility. America should be producing jobs for Americans. Quality of life in America should increase or improve. Economic nationalism and domestic industry protectionism, right? Protectionism. Best example for this is the tariff announcement. The tariff announcement, right? The current administration did not even spare the closest of the allies, be it Canada, be it Japan. None of them were spared. Everybody was imposed with the tariff in order to have certain agreements, in order to threaten the domestic companies into investing in America, etc. Next, reduction in global military commitments. The best example that you can think of connected to this is what is happening in Russia and Ukraine. One of the demands from the side of Ukraine has been that security guarantees will have to be provided by USA. But USA has been of the viewpoint that they have played too much of political, they have basically interfered in too many countries right now, be it Middle East, be it Russia and Ukraine. So they don't want to be present across the globe trying to play big brother to all the countries. Basically, they want to reduce the global military commitment. You can think of this in the context of Russia, Ukraine. You can think of this in the context of China, Japan, or for that matter, right, China and Taiwan. So there are multiple instances where there is a requirement of military or let's say commitment from the side of USA. USA has not committed, especially under the current administration. And finally, sorry, alliances. How the alliances or the countries which have alliance with USA, how they'll be treated now, it is completely different. One best example you can think of this is European market right now. In the strategy that was announced by USA, the president of USA basically warned the European countries. The warning was associated with the defense. They are not spending sufficient amount of money. The warning was also associated with the amount of migration that is happening in the European market right now. So the president of USA wants these alliance countries to spend more. For example, the overall expenditure of the European countries under NATO, USA wants it to be increased to at least 5%. Because traditionally, USA has been guaranteeing certain assistance under Article 5 of NATO. Now, basically, they want alliances also, or the countries with whom they have alliances, to increase their expenditure in defense, to protect themselves, not be always dependent on the USA. So, in a nutshell, again, I'm saying, in a nutshell, these are the five primary, right, let's say, announcements under the latest US national security strategy. Now, I know some of you will be thinking, sir, was there any mention of India? At the end of the day, all of us always want our name to be mentioned. We want India to be mentioned somewhere. Has policy mentioned India in any ways? Yes, you are right. In the 29 pages, India has been mentioned four times. India has been mentioned four times. But compared to the previous national security policy, which was announced by Mr. Joe Biden, back in the 2022, in that particular strategy, India was actually announced seven times. So compared to the earlier policy, right, the mention of India has been lesser, that is only four times. But in what context? In what way India has been mentioned in this particular strategy? At the end of the day, how does India picture in the national security strategy of USA? First one, as usual, right, no strategy announcement, or for that matter, no announcement associated with India can end without mentioning Pakistan by Mr. Donald Trump now. Right? Anyways, he again has reinforced this particular argument that he negotiated the peace between Pakistan and India very recently. That was mentioned in the strategy document. Second one, USA must continue to improve the commercial relations and other relations as well with the countries in the Indo-Pacific, including India, right? Which will basically point to the fact that USA has been focused on India. They want to use India as a pivot, as a counter to the Chinese presence in this particular region. Third one, America should enlist Europe and Asian allies, including India, to improve the positions in the Western Hemisphere. That is the third mention. And finally, in the context of South China Sea, it is a very important trading route, by the way. It's a very important trading route. Very often there is a contention because China basically dominates in this particular region, has a claim. It claims that the complete South China Sea belongs to it. And because this is a very important trading route, USA mentions that there has to be alliance with the Asian countries in order to ensure that the regions or the routes in the South China Sea are protected. These are protected. These will be continue to be used without any countries, right? Let's say the influence in these particular routes. So these are the four instances where the national security strategy has been mentioned or has mentioned India. So these are the important things associated with the national US national security strategy. And what is the current affairs update? The US administration, the Russian administration has announced that it is on the same page, it is on the same lines, it is the policy that has been announced is acceptable to the Russian government now. Done? Okay. Sorry. Let's go forward. Next, Parliament to take up debate on electoral reforms this week. Right now, what are the important points from this particular article? Listen to me carefully. The government of India very recently has announced that this is the 150th anniversary year, 150th anniversary year of the national song, that is right, Vande Mataram. Vande Mataram. The celebrations will be held year long. As a part of the year long celebrations, now there will be debate on the national song on the floor of the parliament. In fact, the debate is going to happen today itself. Prime Minister is going to speak on this. Tomorrow, there will be certain articles associated with this. Now, what are the important points you need to understand from the article? From the article. Regarding the national song, listen to me carefully. I'm pretty sure all of you know this, right? That is, we are celebrating 150th anniversary of this particular song. It is mentioned in the novel. It is part of the novel Anandamath. But there is one point which is mentioned here, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you, or at least some of you, do not know this particular factual information. If the UPC will ask you, who is the person who made, right, let's say, the tune to the national song, the tune of national song. I'm pretty sure all of you know who is the writer, who is the author of the national song, Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. But if the UPSC will ask you who set the tune for the first time for this particular song, the name is given here. Please make a note of this. That is Jodunath Bhattacharya. Jodunath Bhattacharya or Bhattacharji. Okay. Please remember this. Jodunath Bhattacharji. Right, please remember this particular factual information. In addition to this, where was the first time this particular song was sung by the writer? Right, that is 1896 Congress session. 1896 Congress session. Done? So these are certain factual data points I want you to remember in the context of 150th anniversary celebration of national song. Now let me ask you one question. When was this song adopted as national song? I'll repeat the question here. When was this adopted as national song? What is the answer to this? Do let me know in the comment section of the video. Now who are watching, let me know. Those who are watching the recorded version, do let me know the answer to this in the comment section. Done. So these are certain factual data points from the article. In addition to this, there is also mention about the fact that in this week, there will be a lot of discussion associated with the electoral reforms. Electoral reforms discussion will be held. What is the discussion, right? What is the outcome of the discussion? You will come to know over a period of time. Now, please take up this particular MCQ, solve the MCQ and tell me what is the answer to the question. Consider the following statements regarding song Vande Mataram. The song is completely written entirely in Bengali. For the first time, it was sung in 1896 Congress session. It is included in the novel Anandamath. How many of the statements are correct? Sorry. How many of the statements are correct? Let's solve. The song is completely written entirely in Bengali. No, right? Bengali and Sanskrit. Bengali and Sanskrit. For the first time, it was sung in 1896 Congress session. Yes. It is included in the novel Anandamath. Yes. The second and third statement are correct. Hence, the right option, as most of you have mentioned already, is the option B. Good. Right? I'm happy that most of you know the answer to that particular question. Now, next article. The Defense Minister, Mr. Rajnath, unveils border infrastructure projects. I've written BRO. Right? It's an acronym. Those who are reading later, please don't simply pronounce it as bro. It's not bro. It is BRO. Border Roads Organization. Right? BRO, infrastructure projects amounting to 5,000 crore rupees. 5,000 crore rupees have been inaugurated by the Defense Minister. But one infrastructure project actually stands out. Out of 100 plus infrastructure projects, that is 125 infrastructure projects which have been inaugurated across 2 union territories and 7 states, there is one infrastructure project of very high importance. And what is that particular infrastructure project? The Shyok Bridge or Shyok Tunnel. SHYOK, Shyok Tunnel. Right? Why is this? Why is this particular tunnel so important? And those are wondering, sir, why are you coughing so much? My dear, I'm not well. That's a reason. Okay. So let's go forward. Why is this particular tunnel so important? Listen to me very carefully. This particular tunnel is basically situated along the line of actual control. Please observe this later. There is a line of actual control, and here is the Shyok River. Right, very important. Geography wise, very important. Right, and in this particular stretch, the Shyok Tunnel is actually located. The length of Shyok Tunnel is 920 meters, and it will provide all weather access. Please remember this. It will provide all weather access. It will provide all weather access to this particular region. A lot of times there is snowing which is happening in this particular region, and the access to these regions, and because these are present very nearby to the borders, these are present very nearby to the borders, a lot of times there is a need to move the troops very fast. There is a need to, right, provide the supplies to the troops which is located along the border, etc. By providing the all weather access roads, all weather tunnel access, now the movement of troops can be done much faster. The access to the, right, let's say the inputs or machineries, etc., can be done much faster now. And much more importantly, the defense minister also says it will boost tourism. It will boost tourism in this particular region. In addition to this, these kind of projects will also promote employment generation. Employment generation. Done? So these are certain important points associated with the Shyam Tunnel. This has been developed by Border Roads Organization, and it is the same organization which is responsible for constructing the Atal Tunnel as well. It is the same organization which has which has constructed Atal Tunnel, which was there very recently in the newspapers. These are the important points. Now, associated with geography, I've given a question here. I want all of you to answer the question and tell me what is the key answer. Quickly, please tell me what is the key answer. It is on Shyok River, not on the Shyok Tunnel project. It is on the river. Consider the following statements regarding river, Shyok River. Shyok River. It is also called as the river of death. It originates in Nubra Glacier. It is a tributary of Indus River. How many of the statements are true? Do let me know. Right. Meanwhile, let me answer the question. It is also called as a river of death. Yes. Historically, and this is a very old river. Old river in the sense, even during earlier times also, right, the river has been used for multiple purposes. It is also referred as a river of death. Yes, because of high rates of accidents, the fatalities associated with this particular river, it is also referred to as a river of death. It originates in Nubra Glacier. Wrong. Please remember, it doesn't originate in Nubra Glacier. Rather, it originates in Rimo Glacier. Rimo, Rimo Glacier. It is a tributary of Indus River. Yes, it is a left bank tributary of Indus River. Of the three statements, second one is incorrect. First and three are correct. Right option for the question will be option B. Only two are correct. Okay. Now, let me go forward. Next article, NATGRID. National Intelligence Grid gains traction. What is this idea of a NATGRID? Listen to me carefully. After the 2009 terrorist attack, the Ministry of Home Affairs conceptualized the idea of a NATGRID. What is this idea of a NATGRID? It is, in simple way, a single point of information. It's a platform which will act as a single point of information for the agencies. Multiple agencies will get access to this particular platform, and now the latest update is, in addition to the 10 agencies, for example, right, the Intelligence Bureau, Research and Analysis Wing, National Investigation Agency, etc., there are 10 agencies which were already given access to the platform. Now, even the state police, the police will also be provided access to NATGRID. This is the sorry, this is the update. Please remember this. The police will also be, or has been given the access to the NATGRID, and the use of this is, like I said earlier, NATGRID is a platform wherein multiple points of information is ready-made available to you. For example, you want to file an FIR, you want to create, let's say, a document wherein you want to get access to different points of information, banking access. You want to get access associated with the kind of, right, let's say, the kind of tickets that person has booked. You want to get access to the passport details, Aadhaar details, etc. All these points of access or all the points of data sets will be accessible to the police now. Rather than going to different authorities, applying for, right, the access to all these data sets, which will be a time consuming process, which will delay the complete process. Now the police at the state level will get access to, or have been given access to, NATGRID. It will help us in, or it will help these agencies in early detection or investigation, the report preparation, etc. But various experts, or let's say the participants, have raised certain concerns associated with the NATGRID model or the platform. Their argument is, whenever we want to access this particular platform, there is a delay. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you have experienced the same, not in the context of NATGRID, but other government websites. Some of the websites, not all of the websites. Those who have tried to open the EPFO website, try to do something in the EPFO website, will understand what I'm talking about. A lot of times these websites do not, right, let's say, do not respond very quickly. It will take a lot of time for the website to load. Many of the times the websites will automatically log out. Even if there's a slight, right, a discrepancy in the speed of the internet, there will be a delay, etc. So the agencies which are using the website or the platform have raised a concern. That is, one, the government simply says we can get access to real-time data using the NATGRID. We are not able to do that. And the second one, it takes a lot of time for us to get access to the platform, get access to the information, etc. So these are certain points which have been raised in the context of NATGRID in the article. Again, it is basically giving you information from the past, what has happened, and the update regarding NATGRID. Nothing beyond this is relevant for UPSC. Next article, courses on natural farming. The Agriculture Research Organization, that is ICAR, Indian Council. Okay, Indian Council of Agriculture Research. Indian Council of Agriculture Research has written a letter to the universities, the central universities, the state universities. The letter simply states these universities will have to create courses, undergraduate, postgraduate courses, which will promote natural farming in India, or which will basically be providing graduation in natural farming, right? What do you mean by that? I'm pretty sure many of you have graduation in engineering. You have graduation in, let's say, the sciences. In the same way, for natural farming, now the courses will have to be created. Right? This particular letter has been sent by ICAI to all the universities. This has been done for the first time. This has been done for the first time. Now, what is the importance of this? Right now, there is a lot of promotion that is being done by the government of India regarding natural farming. In fact, the government of India very recently has announced a mission, national mission on natural farming, NMNF. I'll repeat the full form. National Mission on Natural Farming. The government of India has announced this initiative. In addition to this, if this initiative, or generally, if the natural farming has to be promoted effectively amongst the farmers, we need to have certain, right, resources, human resources, people who have graduated with the same subject. So now this is the intention of the ICAR. In addition to this, what you need to remember in the context of natural farming. The basic idea for natural farming is that whatever resources are available in nature, that is in the agriculture field, whatever resources are available, we will be using the same resources. The air, the soil, will be using the same resources. We will not use any other resource from outside the field. That is basically the concept of natural farming, right? And I want your answer regarding this. How many of you think natural farming and organic farming are one and the same? And if there is any difference, please do let me know what is the difference. Right, so argument is we will use the resources, whatever is there in the field, we will use the same resources. That is the basic idea of a natural farming. Right, so government of India, like I said, is promoting the mission for this. And what are the important points associated with the mission? Remember this, right? I'm telling you, remember this because there is a question, MCQ on this. I'll show you the question. You should answer, all of them should answer correctly. So the government of India has announced a centrally sponsored scheme. Centrally sponsored scheme, that is a national mission on natural farming. The total amount of expenditure for this allocated under the scheme is 2481 crore rupees. Of this, most of will be coming from the union government or the central government, which will be allocating 1584 crore rupees, and the state government will be allocating or will be spending 597 crore rupees. Under NMNF, the government of India has a target of covering 1 crore farmers. Please remember this, 1 crore farmers. And the target is also to increase the land under cultivation under the natural farming. Currently, around 10 lakh hectares is covered. We want to increase the coverage. These are certain very important points associated with the NMNF scheme. Now, based on the discussion that I've done so far, this is the question. I want you to answer very quickly and answer correctly, by the way. Consider the following statements regarding National Mission on Natural Farming. It is a central sector scheme. Aims to promote natural farming in 1 crore farmers. It will be simultaneously implemented across all the districts in India. And the nodal authority is the Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers. How many of the statements, how many of the above statements is or are correct? I've given 4 statements, by the way. 4 statements. And I know somebody will say, sir, right, you have not discussed all the 4 points. Yes, purposely I have not discussed all the 4 points. Some you know, some, right, if you have read, you will know. Let's start. It is a central sector scheme. Incorrect. It is a sponsored scheme. By now, it should be very clear to you. Aims to promote natural farming in 1 crore farmers. Yes, target is to cover 1 crore farmers. It will be simultaneously implemented across all the districts in India. This is incorrect. Please remember, it is incorrect. Will it be simultaneously implemented? No. We have identified around 200 plus districts where the incidence of fertilizer, chemical fertilizer consumption is very high. First, we will implement in those districts. And finally, the nodal authority, right, is the Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers. No, it is Farmers' Welfare. Right, so out of all the 4 statements, only the second statement is correct. Right option will be option A, only one is correct. Done? Okay, now couple of more articles, 2 articles, just factual information. One is the UNESCO meeting, the 20th session of Intergovernmental Committee. I repeat, the 20th session of Intergovernmental Committee, right, of UNESCO. UNESCO, the Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage, ICH. UNESCO ICH 20th meeting, right, is being held in Delhi now. It will be held from, right, 7th to 13th of December. Now, this is one factual information, please remember. In addition to this, I want you to remember one more factual information. The countries generally, or the parties, or they'll simply use the term states. The states usually nominate or recommend something to be recognized as a part of intangible cultural heritage. For this year, Government of India has recommended inclusion of Diwali. It was not mentioned in the Hindu newspaper. Please make a note of this. And when I say note, you don't have to mentally or you don't have to write it. Download the PPT and remember this. For this year, the Government of India has nominated Diwali to be included as a part of Intangible Heritage List. Intangible Heritage List. These are the 2 points, factual points associated with the 20th meeting. Please remember. Next, last article, just an update regarding what is happening in the context of Indigo, the saga of Indigo. The Government of India, that is specifically the Parliamentary Standing Committee, the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Transport, Tourism and Culture, is expected to call all the stakeholders and seek certain reply. Just an update. They want to call all the stakeholders such as, right, let's say the Directorate General for Civil Aviation, Indigo stakeholders or Indigo owners, etc. The argument is very simple. One, if the reforms, that is the FDTL reforms are or rules. I hope all of you remember this. Yesterday I talked about this. FDTL rules. If the FDTL rules were announced well before the time, how come all the other airliners have been able to meet the rules, follow the rules, and why Indigo was not right able to meet the rules? And was it conveyed to the DGCA? If yes, right, what action has the DGCA taken? Right, so the stakeholders will be called by this particular standing committee. Even the Ministry of Civil Aviation representatives will be called, and the replies will be sought regarding this. So this is just an update to the Indigo, the issue associated with Indigo, which has been happening for last 4 to 5 days. Done? Okay, so these are the articles, questions, and the concepts I wanted to discuss with you people in today's session. If you have liked the discussion that I've done, do not forget to hit the like button. If you're yet to join our YouTube channel, kindly do it right now. If you have any kinds of doubts, do let me know. I'll address them and then we can close the session. Okay, done then. Thank you. Take care. Right, see you next time when my class will be scheduled or my discussion for the CNA will be scheduled. Have a great day.